go over there in case they need someone to explain it. Right? Because you must have said that.
USA Ultimate on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter at the US Open 2019. We got a great one for you. Ignore those numbers, number 4 and number 2 seeds, Boston Brute Squad facing off against the Medellin Revolution. These two teams are elite level. Both teams have won this tournament, I believe. Revolution right there in pink won this in 2017, last time they were here. Brute Squad, of course, a 2-time national champion. They lost to Fury last year in the national championships. A powerhouse team that has only added more power, and we'll see that out here on the field tonight. Mauricio Moore right there coaching up his team, the Revolution. I'm joined by Aaron Maraca. Aaron, we got a good one.
We do. I'm really excited about this matchup today.
How can you not be? These two teams did meet last year in the World's semifinals from the Cincinnati area. A win for Revolution. We asked them if they had a rivalry, perhaps. They said, no, we love everyone. We get along with everyone. It's just a great sport, a great time. So no rivalry, but these two teams might have a little bit of a chip on their shoulder if they want to win this tournament. This is a good way to start here in the crossover game.
Yeah, a quick kind of memory recap for people too. Revolution, of course, competing in the Premier Ultimate League this year. They played a lot of these Brute Squad players on the New York Gridlock team, right, Tony?
Not a lot. Cassie Wong, Yu Zhao, I think might have been on the team. Tulsa Douglas. So not too many players. So only a few. That New York team was kind of a hodgepodge from all over the area, and Cassie, of course, is a longtime New Yorker. Handshakes there to start the game. Great spirit. This is a team, Aaron, this Revolution team that we saw. They really kind of blew open this division, I want to say, and even the sport to a large degree when they won this tournament in 2017. It was something really dynamic and something special that kind of broke open, in my mind at least, how well this sport ultimate can be portrayed and be seen that you're watching. They play such a fast game, such an exciting game, such a unique, powerful game that's spiritual and yet gets results. So can't be more excited to see these girls out here again here at the US Open.
I totally agree. I have been able to watch a fair amount of film on both of these teams, and it's a little bit of, for lack of a better term, I'll try to think of a better one, but I feel like a little bit of a fangirl type feeling right now. There are a lot of standout individuals on both of these teams that I think are really powerful role models in our sport and are kind of leading conversations about how women in Ultimate are portrayed and how they perform and how much respect they deserve. So both on and off the field, just there's so many people on this field right now that I admire so much.
Yeah, this is two teams of superstars. Make no mistake about it. Elizabeth Mosquera, the deep threat and defender for Revolution with the pull, drops down to Brute Squad here as they will work at easy set. And here's one of the new pickups this year, Claire Trop, of course, playing with Dartmouth. She bombs it deep right away to Cami Groom. Cami's got some space there because Mosquera traces down, but it's going to be a goal for Cami Groom. That's pretty fast off the bat, and you see why Claire Trop is such a huge addition to a team that was already stacked.
Good to see that from Boston, striking hot and efficiently right there. Definitely a good move to keep energy and confidence up here. They're already rushing the field, already investing in kind of the energy game that we've talked a little bit about today, especially the last round of the day, right? For all intents and purposes, this crossover in the new US Open format doesn't necessarily make or break either team's path to the eventual final, but it is hot outside. It's been above 85 all day, and though it is starting to cool down and get closer to 80, still humid here, still pretty warm overall. So, just good to see the energy right off the bat from Brute Squad. If they can maintain that and get clean holds that efficiently, I think this is going to be a really exciting game.
Claire Trop with the throw there. Of course, you might recognize her from the Dartmouth team, the college team that won 2 national championships, and just recently was not able to make the three-peat there, but lost in the finals to UCSD. Great performance, of course, from Dartmouth. We'll talk a lot about them in this game, as there's several Dartmouth players on this Boston Brute Squad roster. And now we see the Medellin Revolution work down the field. That's number 11, Rojas. She'll hang one up there. This is a chance for Cassie Wong on the D, and no, it's knocked out of the sky instead by Erin Ray.
Really good defense there from Brute Squad, forcing a less than ideal throw into that lane. Good position there. Just a really nice defensive play.
Quick shot to Cassie Wong downfield. Wong is there for it and not in, but she'll drop it back for an easy goal and a score. That's a break. Nicole Cannon catches the goal, and that's a quick one, as that offense from Revolution did not look particularly stellar on that first point.
Yeah, it looked like they were trying to make space for their players in a bit of a side stack, but this throw that was put up with a lot of edge into that space seemed to be either a miscue or a high stall situation. Certainly Revolution has a lot of really elite level throwers who can hit all their spots, so it looks like just a fluke.
Yeah, we haven't seen the last of this team yet, that's for sure.
No.
We know, of course, Manuela Cardenas, hard
A.
Cardenas, and her sister, as they hold hands here on the line, something we have seen now for years. That, again, new to the division, new to the sport, really, that I've seen some youth teams do. I saw at U24, I believe it was like the German women's team, also doing the same thing and holding hands. I love it. I think it's a great thing. Mascara there on the line. One of the players that I've watched and been able to see her journey through years is Yina Cartagena. We'll see her out there, a superstar, number 20. When I was in Colombia for the Cali World Games, I would ask, who's the best player on this World Games team? You know, Colombia is the host country, got a squad out there. And they were sort of new, so they were not one of the top 6 teams in the world. You know, 6 teams get that opportunity, but they prove they belong there and have been there ever since. And everyone told me it's Cartagena, and here she is with the disc right now.
Both teams today missing key contributors. Leanne Hoffman out with some tight hamstrings that are feeling a little tweaky, and Maddie Fry, who's been playing with Revolution, having some Achilles trouble today. Certainly doesn't sound like either of them will be out for the season proper, and maybe not even for the rest of the weekend, but taking it easy in this last round of the day.
That's Valerie Cardenas, and she shoots it up for a goal. And there's a quick hold from Revolution.
Just really quick aggressive movement there in a lot of the give and go lanes. Another kind of interesting connection to make as we continue to be able to call these games with an international component and flair. Stylistically, a lot of these international teams move the disc faster than maybe we're all used to. So it's a really big challenge for defensive lines to find a way to take those things away. And when those activities and behaviors like give and go are happening by some of the top players, right, the top 5 players in the world, I can imagine that it's a really big challenge from a coaching perspective and a tactical perspective and a personnel perspective to try and shut that down.
Brute Squad up a break early. This is a crossover game, so really just for seeding. There's Coach Maurizio Moore, who's been with this team for quite a long time. We also saw him coaching the U24 boys team in Heidelberg for Colombia. U being, of course, under, so the under-24 squad. You know, it's got to talk to him before the game, Aaron, and there's just a philosophy that the team has that's different than what we see in the States, which is it's about the process, but they also want to win. And it's about how they do things. And you want to say, well, not the result then, but no, it's both. Like, this is a team that wants it both. And they've had great success getting wins and becoming a better team every time they're out on the field.
I do think it's really powerful to decide that you can have both things. So we see here Revolution with an opportunity to get this break back. Mascara with a beautiful deep pull, with a lot of hang time and able to let her defenders get down there for this quick strike at a short field.
Yeah, and the wind has picked up a little bit, so that proved to be the difference as Rico shoots one in for the goal for Revolution. Number 27 to number 57, and the receiving end of that is Montagna.
As you mentioned, the wind is starting to pick up, and that's coming, right to left on our screen. In this replay, that disc that was a little bit wide was effectively all of a sudden an upwind throw that was being pushed back towards the end zone. So made it a little bit harder to grab, and it was at a height that I think would have been a really hard bid to go for. Fruit Squad putting out a brand new, it looks like, set of 7 freely cycling through lines. But Tulsa is out there again, the kind of center handler on this O-line.
Yeah, Tulsa Douglas, one of the players we saw in that Premier Ultimate League, of course, number 14 in the center of your screen. There she is, young player. She was named Division III Player of the Year by Ultiworld, I believe either last year or 2 years ago. Took her team, that might have been here in Minnesota, Aaron, is that right? St. Olaf, I want to say?
Yeah, St. Olaf is about an hour south of the cities, and Tulsa really kind of restarted that program from scratch.
Big rip down here, downfield. It might be a little too far. There's the bidding player, and she lays out and not there in time, unfortunately. Looks like Lane Sider. She's down. Let's hope she's all right. Yeah, Lane Sider. This is her first year with the team out of the University of Georgia. Played previously with Ozone. That disc looked a little far. She gave all the effort she could.
Oh, so
Full
close.
Bid. Could be just your breath knocked out of you on that one when you land on your stomach area. So looks like she's going to be okay walking off the field. Yeah, that's when you get your breath knocked out of you, it's like, oh God, what just happened?
There are a couple players with some history from Ozone in the Atlanta area on the field right now. Also adjacent to the play is Shani Crawford, who was very integral in the Color of Ultimate game that happened recently, and the subsequent documentary and conversation that happened about inclusion in our sport.
Big rip from Cardenas to her sister. Let's see if Manuela can get up there. Whoa, what a rip out of the sky. Manuela Cardenas goes up high with the left paw and skies 2 taller players in Malinowski and Douglas, showing off the ups from Cardenas. That was impressive. That was crazy.
I love it. There are, I don't know, 50 young women from YCC along the sideline right now, just living the dream and seeing hopefully what they want to be in the world. What a great way to represent kind of those aspects of the sport that for a long time people said, women were not doing. Well, now that we have the coverage, I think everybody can see that we're doing it.
Oh yeah, it's happening.
It's happening. This is real, folks. This is a huge huck, great placement, and Cardenas skying the pile.
See some of the YCC teams here lined up on the fields to watch. And waving a little to the camera, at least there's one. So Manuela Cardenas, really did step up. Her and her sister, of course, really electrified this game for lots of audiences. And you can see why. Using her body to box out a taller defender and Tulsa Douglas. The huck hung up there a little bit, into the wind a little bit. I mean, really impressive also from her sister, Valerie, who will be playing for Riot this year. So those two will match up again, most likely at some point this season, as those two teams will face off in some American battles.
Yeah, I find it alarming that they are still 20 years old. And so for a lot of the women's spectators right now to remember that they're competing in a U20 division that until this year maybe the Cardenas sisters were eligible to play in it's just remarkable.
Well, here's another one, Claire Trope, also a youngster by relative standards and a superstar. Trope can do just about everything out there. Now the disc cycling back as they're trying to find Trope as they do here. She hit Cami Groom earlier, looks for her at this point, but it's well guarded inside out instead. And that's collected and caught by Tajima. one of the stalwarts of this team. But no, the reset, okay, that worked out. To Angela Zhu. Zhu looking. Zhu's got the range. So does Trope. Trope wants Cassie Wong. She'll find her. Wong. Cami Groom. Not there. Reset to Zhu. To Jima. Zhu. Over a bit, but Trope might be there. Trope is there, not in. Trope looking, finds Cassie Wong through the middle. There's a call. That's going to be a pit call as we see the hands go up.
I'm just watching Mascara in the backfield right now, kind of hunting for opportunities to peel off her own player and make a play. And I, as a handler myself, I cannot imagine looking downfield and constantly seeing her just in all the lanes that I want to throw in.
Maurizio Moore was telling me that to practice, to train for Ultimate, she started running track. And she's running track, and a local coach says, wow, you're pretty fast. Why don't you come to this regional tournament and run track? And so she does very well and qualifies for the national tournament.
That's ridiculous.
Running a 400.
A 400?
Yeah,
That's
400 and 100, so both,
Oh
I
my
believe.
gosh. That is such a... Okay, Mascara. We see you. We see you out there dominating in too many areas, maybe. Nah. I love it. That's great.
I want to see that story one day when it's like they're talking about a track and field player who crossed over from Ultimate.
Yeah, it better be on the live stream, Tony.
Yeah. So this goal will count. The pit call not in play. We do not have observer there. Mitch Dingler mic'd up for this game. Apologies for that. So we didn't get to hear that conversation, but we do know it's a score for Brute Squad.
What I think is important to note on that kind of upwind-ish point for Brute is just what a disc will do when you put it into the wind with a lot of spin on it, right? So even though it missed its initial intended target, it sat out there on a ledge with a lot of time for someone like Trope to make a play on it. And it would behoove all the players on this team to remember that if they just put it into that upwind end zone, we're going to have a lot of really exciting opportunities for people to work hard to get to that disc, and maybe the reverse on the downwind side.
Yeah, don't be afraid, right? Like, you throw that throw. That's a throw you have to throw. You know you're going into the wind, and it might hang up. So put a lot of Z's on it. Put a lot of spins, and if it hangs up, we saw that play happen twice today at least, right, where the trailing player is able to pick it up.
Looks like Douglas has been pulled over to the D line for Brute to maybe take a shot at getting this break back.
Cartagena with the disc. All around force here, Yina Cartagena. When she doesn't throw goals, she will score them, so be wary. Number 96, Forero, drops it back. Cardenas. Up to Shani Crawford. Up to number 11. That is Deed up.
By number 42.
That's Rachel Kramer.
Good positioning there, and Douglas will pick up. Seen a number of highlights from Douglas of full field hucks in transition like this, but she chooses the lateral movement of a handler reset here.
Kramer cycles it back to Caitlin Lee, who throws an over-the-top break that works. And coming back to Caitlin Lee, one of the Dartmouth studs, if you want to put it that way, a star for that team.
Stoppage here.
Caitlin Lee out of Boulder, Colorado, along with Jack Verjou, Claire Trope, Juliana Werfely, and Angela Zhu, and that's a goal. 32-16 for Brute Squad, and that's a break. Megan Wilson throws the goal, and Erin Ray collects the score.
A good opportunity there for Brute to create a break for themselves. Clearly pulling some personnel onto that D-line was the right call. I think for Tulsa Douglas, who's a name that we all kind of know and talk about, her role on a D-line is more about converting the break, maybe. she's still a very smart player, but in that regard, there were 6 other ladies on that line who were intent on getting a D and getting a hand on the disc so that Douglas could go calmly pick up the disc and initiate the offense. But that was really solid kind of D-line offense and a little bit more patient than maybe some of the other styles that we've seen today. A lot of D-line offenses are fast break. They're kind of huck and run. They're aggressive. Let's get this O-line out of position and like tire them down. And so in juxtaposition to that, this was really patient D-line offense, which is good to see.
A lot of talent on both sides, of course. So not a surprise that a team can get breaks on the other. As we see the Brute Squad defenders there. That is Alex Odie and Sophie Holbert. Holbert number 2. This is a pull from Werfele. He's pretty good at that. And picked up and centered more or less on a side stack here for Valerie Cardenas. Up to Cartagena. Slices it through the middle. Up to Manuela. There's a stoppage here, so a pick call will probably send this back as we see Cami Groom tied up on the defense. So this will come back. There's Angela Zhu talking to Manuela Cardenas. Angela Zhu, the Callahan winner from 2 years ago.
This is the second Revolution O point where they have tried to isolate number 11, Camila Peleas, in the space on that vert stack. So she might be a little bit of a targeted initiating receiver. Always good to see new names come through, or maybe new to me, I guess, but still.
Well, you know, Maurizio told me that, Coach Moore told me that she was not here, so I wonder if someone else is wearing her jersey.
Ah, okay.
So it might not be Camila Peleas. We'll have to find out. It could be Ospina, actually. I'm not sure.
That would make sense.
That would make sense, yeah, if it is.
Because that's a name that I recognize.
Yeah, exactly.
Crawford, come in here. You're right. They are, a lot of them are wearing jerseys that either have a Cardenas name on the back. Oh, that's a pretty put.
Wow, what a find. I mean, that is not easy to spot as she laces an inside out to the far cone there for Yina Cartagena to come under.
Manages to find a kind of windless moment to throw that to. If any downwind had been behind that, that may have turned out slightly differently, but that just sat there real pretty in a place that only her receiver could get to it.
Yeah, made it look easy. That is not easy. Amber Sinekrope on the mark there. To get low like that, to bend that disc so that it releases on the inside track and sits up there nicely, not easy. But made it look easy, Valerie Cardenas. A pretty good pickup for Riot. As they lose Claire Trope here to Brute Squad for keeping up with your, you know, elite division switches of personnel. So Claire Trope, of course, the Seattle native, but has been on the East Coast for some time playing with Dartmouth. There she is. Now we'll play with Brute Squad Boston this year. Last year, Brute Squad lost in the finals to Fury. After Fury made a comeback in semifinals to defeat Riot, where Claire Trope was playing.
We're going to get another look at a Mosquera pull. Mosquera, possibly the best puller in the world. Like, possibly. Just very consistent, right?
Did you just curse her? You did.
I did. I had. It's the
Actually,
commentator's curse. I apologize.
That was official. Yeah.
Wow.
Mosquera, though, you're right. For the those PUL games was, I mean, it was a factor the way she was putting it deep.
I think they also calculated her average hang time on pulls and compared it like across gender, across division, across everything, and only one male puller had better hang time than she did, which is just awesome. But yeah, commentator's curse. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Mosquera. My bad.
So the initial pool play here from Brute Squad was sniffed out by the defense of Revolution, but they've worked it up to Malinowski now. Malinowski centers it to Yu Zhao. Yu Zhao upfield to Hannah Henkin, former Michigan handler, up to Malinowski, another Michigan graduate. Malinowski will send this deep. Opportunity, it's a goal. She finds Jessie Tomas in the back of the end zone. Nicely done there. And that's a hold for Brute Squad.
What's more impressive maybe is that Malinowski has drawn the Mosquera matchup, and she got the disc at will that point. I also appreciated that when she put up that backhand with shape on it, Claire Trope thought it was for her, and it was not for her.
She looked like she was going to tip that to an alley-oop.
Hey, you gotta make every effort to catch it, even if it's not for you, just in case, especially in wind, right?
You know, speaking of Mosquera, I wonder if she's sort of picking her spots. You know, like as a statistician, if you were a statistician, Aaron, which you may be.
I'm a data analyst.
You're a data analyst.
Yeah.
So is it possible for Mosquera to not get a D in a game? Oh, she just takes a sip of water. But I'm not being facetious here, but I think it's pretty rare to see a game that Revolution plays, even at the highest levels, that Elizabeth Mosquera does not find her way to get a block.
I would agree with that. I think what I'm noticing her do is she is alternating, or maybe Coach is doing this tactically, but kind of switching up who takes those matchups and trying to create more advantageous matchups in order to yield that D when they need it.
This is a foul call here, so this will come back. Not sure it's contested there as that throw was intercepted. And Aaron, just want to say number 11, I did get to see the back of her jersey. It says Gonzalez.
Okay.
Put that in our score books here.
I don't know if those are accurate either, though.
Right. Well, if you put the name on your back, we're going to go with it.
So Shanique Crawford is wearing a jersey that says Gomez on the back. As I mentioned, there are a number of jerseys that say Cardenas on the back. So I think for this U.S. Open, instead of ordering jerseys,
can we buy
for
one of those?
Ooh! I bet
Trade.
there's some players at home that would love a jersey from Revolution. Saw a mention on Twitter, I think, from Bert Abbott, who's playing Molly Brown, that she has the Mosquera jersey and has deemed it a collector's item now from the PUL.
Well, she did win the player of the PUL. Rachel Kramer there, her second D of the game. So Rachel Kramer is finding the spaces for the D against this Revolution offense, this vaunted Revolution offense. Rachel Kramer, I think it's her third year here on the team, coming out of Tufts University. A lot of Tufts women on this team. The EWO, the Elephant Women.
We see Douglas picking up again for this D-line offense. See if they can replicate that easy, disciplined offense.
And there's going to be another, this will come back on a pick call. Caitlin Lee with the disc. She's disagreeing a little bit, but Shani Crawford and her are discussing it a little bit. Shani's saying, you went that way, I went this way. It's a pick.
Twitter would like Mitch Dengler to go in there and solve it, right?
You know, I don't think, yeah, okay, here he comes. Mitch is going to be like, there he goes.
Typical Mitch Dengler.
That was right on cue, Aaron. Very impressed by that.
It's the commentator's curse. Sometimes it works for good.
So Lee with the disc here. Up to Courtney Valhallen. They are looking to dump, and they succeed. To Tulsa Douglas. Douglas surveying. She's got the range, Douglas does. And Caitlin Lee also looking. We're stagnant offense here. And a foul on Crawford is called. Not sure there's an argument here. But not a great looking set now, as Revolution has kind of bottled up this Brute Squad offense.
Sometimes stoppages like this give an offense a second to organize. So it should be interesting to see. Oh, violation.
Yeah, Kramer there did have a step or two on her defender, but she will walk it back. Caitlin Lee with this there, number 29. Brute Squad, the 4 seed. Not sure as accurate as they are an elite team, but there's a lot of good teams here. Fury and Riot in the 1 and 2 spots respectively, and Revolution number 2.
Big look.
To Cassie Wong, she'll get there.
And that's a break for Brute Squad.
Cassie Wong is the person you want to hit in the end zone, and that break does come through for them. Nice to have that versatility on your D-line. Caitlin Lee on the D-line. Sometimes we see Angela Zhu send a D to Cassie Wong, who is, of course, an excellent defender and also excellent in the air. And again, Rachel Kramer with her second D of this game, and that's been the difference.
Revolution, obviously known for kind of quick movements and some like back and forth give and go and then taking shots, right? But I think sometimes when you rely on that part of your game and you're not connecting, it can feel a little bit like a tempting trap to put yourself into. So I hope Revolution is refocusing here. Obviously, they have the throwers and the receivers to find open people on those bigger looks, but Brute Squad is doing just a really good job of getting into those lanes right now and finding a way to read it better. Again, wind has gone pretty much down to nothing, right? Which we have, so we haven't seen any throws since that one kind of be affected by the wind. Appreciate you interacting with us on social media. Tony and I are on Twitter, and if you would like to talk to us or make any comments or help us out or answer trivia
Can we
questions.
find Ospina or not? I love Laura Ospina.
Yeah. Again, data. I'm a data person. So we have lists in front of us with names and numbers, but we understand that not everything goes smoothly with jerseys and travel and the whole kit and caboodle. So if we are making mistakes, they are well-meaning mistakes. We're trying our best out here, but if you have some information that we need to know and write down in our book, that information is welcome. We just want to do a good job out here.
Yeah. Well said. So some of you may wonder, as we saw Coach Maurizio Moore talking to his team, he says, you know, I'm not telling them what to do. I'm just giving them principles and let the athletes apply the principles to the game. I don't know how accurate that is, but I think that's, you know, they're not running called set plays, basically. So it's not an American style. They're not running set offenses even, which is a surprise to me. I find that hard to believe that that's even possible, where you could say, yeah, we don't have an offensive set. But this is a team that's been doing it for 10 years, so they know each other really well. As we see Werfley here about to pull another excellent puller here. Two of the best in the division in Werfley and Mosquera. Coming into number 24, and that is Santos had centered it. Cardenas. She will rip it deep again. Valerie Cardenas to Elizabeth Mosquera. Mosquera, it's behind her. She can't track it down. The defense from Brute was there. Aaron Ray, again, getting in the picture.
Wow, Brute Squad is doing just a really good job of smothering these looks and making them difficult, both in the handler set and downfield right now. And I continue to be impressed. Wait, I'm gonna wait for my impressed comment until this is over, because commentators' curse is real right now.
Yu Zhao, who was nice pickup from Zhu. Oh, she wanted to bomb it downfield, but holstered it. Came under to Ray, what a catch. And Ray goes down to the turf for that one. Tries to send her to Zhu, it gets D'd up. Zhu will try to pick it up, she cannot. The D there from Revolution will give them a chance to hold. Setting the stack here. And Santos up to number 57, that's Montagna. Montagna can convert here. She has an open one, but we can't find her. Was tunneling in on Valerie Cardenas. Cardenas will find her instead. And that's a goal to Forero for Revolution on the hold.
Interesting tactical decision here for that Brute Squad D-line at the tail end of that point. They looked like they were in a pretty far away straight up mark, even when Revolution was within about 3 yards of the end zone. That's an interesting choice right there. Again, I think the Brute Squad defense right now is earning their chances at breaks here. They're playing really good defense. They're close on. I think that discipline of their D-line, a little bit stretched on that point, right? A little bit of maybe urgency from the Revolution team to get it right back for their O-line hold. But so far, just really a good all-around game, good ultimate going on, I think, right now.
Yeah, it's not easy to get that kind of excellent pressure on Angela Zhu, Callahan winner. So, you know, I really see Ferreira out there just making a play. I mean, just excellent defense. You know, Ray could have maybe taken another step. She was pretty well guarded with Zhu, so would have loved to see maybe Zhu on an upline there, obviously. But Ray tried to find her and unsuccessful there. The D credit to Ferreira on her handler defense on Angela Zhu.
There are a number of players on this Revolution team capable of making astounding defensive plays, right? Really like high level, and I mean that like vertically, right? Layout D attempts, sky in the pile all over the place. And sometimes that means that when you're on offense against a team like that, you have to use your fakes to try to get them to bite on one of those looks so that one of your receivers will be actually free enough to throw to.
Yep. Sinnerkrope gets it upfield. Here's a big look there from Sophie Holbert. She'll put it up to Claire. Trope will sky for it. Picks it out of the sky. Drops it back. And this could be a goal. It is. Shoots it up to Jessie Tomas, her second goal of the game. And that was all due to Claire Trope.
That looked that looked really easy for the most part. I don't think that Groom's throw was exactly what she wanted it to be. But when your receiver is Trope, who is so good in these situations and knows how to read and get body and all that good stuff, I think you trust her a little bit. And even if the throw isn't perfect, it usually works out.
Santos there was there for Trope, but Trope gets the sky, holds her position. Watch her read this disc. You know, one thing in Ultimate that it's great to teach your younger players is sometimes you just want to beat you out there, right? It's like you and the disc, you know. Just look up, find where the disc is, and get it. Don't worry where your defense is going to be. High point it, and we see Claire Trope do that perfectly. She's looking at precisely one thing the entire time, and that's the disc in the air and the relationship that she has to where that disc is going to land. I love watching Claire Trope play.
Yeah, it's really great. It's also really nice to see like a circle of trust is the wrong term. I'll come up with something better. But when those kind of jump balls go up and you're not quite sure how it's going to come down, those brute receivers ran past Trope, believing very strongly that she was going to come down with that so that they could be free and easy in the end zone for the score.
Yeah, that's a good observation because that can be a risky thing to do. If you think it's going to be turned, then you're way out of position for the defense. Cartagena will look now for Revolution. Wanted to get Shini downfield, but could not find Crawford. Crawford coming out under. Oh, what a D from Cassie. Whoa!
Oh!
And a pickup from Revolution.
Well, I'm okay with that. That's fun. Let's keep doing that.
Pretty exciting as Gonzalez picks it up for number 11. Cartagena shoots to the end zone for Crawford. Crawford will get there. An exciting hold for Colombia Medellin Revolution as Cassie Wong and Gonzalez go down for it. And Gonzalez picks it up, and the score goes to Crawford.
Oh, I love it.
The double layout, it always gets exciting.
It is exciting. It's also like that was excellent defense. That was excellent, you know, effort and not giving up on the play. There were just a lot of intangibles on display, I think, in that point. And then the ability to kind of recollect yourself. And there's that phrase that we heckle a lot, right, which is conservation of greatness, which is after you make a stunning play, maybe what follows is not your best decision. And we see a lot of people who make a great throw or make a great layout like that to recover possession. Right here, we'll see it again.
Boom.
But it would have been totally natural for her to then get up and maybe throw an ill-advised huck. That's something that, you get overexcited and we see happen a lot. So a lot of poise, a lot of focus there, and just, able to then cleanly continue.
Cassie got right back. Wong got right back up, too.
Yeah.
That's when you know you're dialed in, when you make a huge layout bid like that and you let it play D it up. And it goes pretty far. It wasn't like she just macked it up into the air. She sent that a decent distance. As we see Gonzalez on the sideline with Werfley in front of her.
Look at that hang time.
Pull again.
It's delicious.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
The
a little bit of a
miscommunication.
miscue.
Yeah, Yu Zhao, the recent U24 player coming out of New York City, can't find Amber Sinnerkrope. And now a chance for Revolution to tie it up.
They isolate.
Cardenas will pick it up and shoot it right to Mosquera. She should get that goal.
She should. That pull allowed her defense to get all the way down the field and pressure the very first throw, if not the second throw. That doesn't happen if it's a short pull. That doesn't happen if it doesn't hang in the air that long. Pulls are a really integral part of a defensive line, and specifically that hang time. And I think we often forget about that or take them for granted.
You know, there were some stats early in the decade that the Boston team, Death or Glory, put together, and the starting position of a team on offense, the further back they go, unsurprisingly, the less success rate they have at conversion for that point. So, you know, it is surprising sometimes that the deep pools are underrated. You know, part of the reason is it's risky sometimes, right? You send that, you know, you pull it deep and it lands a little bit out of bounds, and you know, too bad it went. It's great that it went really deep, but you know, it's going to be centered. So the risk is there, but Mosquera is able to land most of those inbounds, and it's a factor for sure.
So we're here at another Galaxy point. Looks like.
You have to say it with an English accent. If you
Oh, I can't do that.
Well, just to channel Hannah Pendlebury and Tom Stiles.
Yeah.
Galaxy Point of Liam Grant.
Yeah, accents are not my thing. I probably already embarrassed myself enough with the little bit of Minnesota accent that everybody can hear at home.
I cannot hear it.
No? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I did go to school on the East Coast, so maybe it got knocked out of me pretty hard.
Yeah, Lafayette will do that.
Yeah.
You know what else Lafayette College is also known for doing? Knocking Joel Silver out of playing Ultimate.
Yeah, he was there for 3 years.
Yeah.
Lafayette College.
And tried to start an Ultimate team. And
yeah, we had the first college Ultimate team. That's what they told us.
yeah.
Did they lie to me?
They didn't. The team
Tony,
never.
did they lie to me?
Hang on.
Because our newspaper.
I didn't write that chapter.
Yeah.
I'm the co-author.
Okay. Our school newspaper did like a whole piece
Oh, that's
on us
interesting.
and said
Yeah.
that we had the first college Ultimate team. So if they did not fact check the very reliable sources that are Ultimate Frisbee like archives,
Generally,
I'm sure.
it's credited to Rutgers and Princeton. Rutgers specifically as being the first team.
Interesting.
Because I don't think that Lafayette team stuck. So
No,
that might be
I'm
the
sure
reason.
it didn't. In fact, this year for the very first time, I found out that we had a women's team at Lafayette College.
Oh, that's great.
So
Jiminy. Mosquera again bombs it. Sinnercrope picks it up, centers. Isolation play here in the center of the field. It's covered by Cartagena, so they'll have to center up to Sinnercrope instead. Cami Groom, one of the stars on this team, finds Claire Trope. Trope will rip it and fake it.
oh, she faked you out.
Yeah,
got
she
you.
did.
Cami Groom has drawn the Mosquera matchup in this point.
Tajima up to Zoo on the offensive line now. They're putting all their big players on for this Galaxy point. Sinnercrope, longtime Boston face Amherst. Of course, Mosquera, there it is.
There it is.
There's the D. We knew she was going to get one as she slaps it down in front of Cami Groom.
Oh, I wish there had been a fast break. I don't know. We've spent all day being like, feed it, right? Feed her. She made the play. Give it to her. Let her go deep.
Yeah. Well, there's still time.
Yeah.
Instead, they'll try to work it up. Cardenas will put this one for
Oh,
Mosquera.
yeah.
There
Oh,
it
here we
is.
go.
Manuela, Mosquera. That's easy cheesy. Manuela to Mosquera makes it look easy. And that's the goal and the break and the half on the Galaxy point for Columbia Medellin Revolution.
That's just a lot. That's a lot all at once. Oh, pretty impressive. You know, I think it continues to be interesting from like a tactical perspective to watch which players on Revolution take which players on Brute Squad. And, you know, that was the third high release backhand in that tight lane in that point. And maybe Mosquera did a little trend analysis, right? And saw a pattern forming and took that lane a little harder. Which is super smart, right? And obviously this is what you expect to see from Manu. And with Mosquera going deep, I don't know, do you know what her time is in the 100?
I kind of want to find out. I mean, she's got the range, she's got the link. We've always known that she's this type of elite athlete for this sport. But I would love to see some hard numbers, yeah. Well, hey, listen, we're going to take a break here for halftime. What an exciting half it's been. It's been back and forth. 2-goal lead from Boston has evaporated. This half will be a little bit longer. It'll be a 10-minute half, so do not be surprised if we don't come right back. Go take a break, get some water, and come back and enjoy the rest of the second half. We've got a good one here in Minnesota. So for Aaron Maraca, I'm Tony Leonardo, and we'll be back for the second half.
Okay. Yeah, let's see. Okay. Gotcha. Okay. Thank you. That's interesting. All right. So, Gonzalez was on too.
Hey, second half coming up here as we're watching Revolution do a warm-up by their traditional dancing. And we're going to do see a little recap of some plays from the first half. Pretty exciting one it was. So take a look right here.
Clean hold of Cami over here.
Welcome back. Welcome back to the second half here of a good one. The crossover here, seeding purposes, the two pool play winners. Brute Squad escaped a tough Scandal team earlier today. They were down, or maybe they were up 12-10. I think they won that one close over DC Scandal, expected to be in the conversation for a semifinals appearance this year. From early regards. And Columbia Revolution, of course, winners of the 2017 U.S. Open. They have, they're in the finals last year. Instead of coming to this tournament, they went to the World Championships outside of Cincinnati instead, where they had, of course, an excellent showing. They went down to Riot, the defending world champions, the defending national champions, Fury. They are contesting on the other field right now, and that score right now is 8-6 in favor of Seattle Riot. Here, similarly evenly matched, as Aaron Maraca and I can attest to, a game of runs as Brute Squad was up a couple breaks, and Revolution has closed the gap and taken the lead, and it looks like they will receive the disc to start. So they have an opportunity here to go up another one on this talented Brute Squad team out of Boston. So we are seeing Mosquera on both sides of the line here now on offense, as Valerie Cardenas will send her to Yina Cartagena. Cartagena will drop it back to Cardenas. And we did get a confirmation on number 11. That is, this is going to be a pick call, so this will come back. So we've called her name as Gonzalez, or we've called it as
we were speculating.
Pelez. Well, it says Gonzalez on the jersey.
True, true.
It says Pelez in the program, and it's really Eliana Rico.
Yes, playing with her sister on the team this year.
So right now with the disc is Cartagena, Manuela Cardenas.
Cardenas, yes.
Cardenas to her sister, twin sister, Valerie. Valerie will find an open receiver. That's Ferreira for the goal. That's her third one of the game, I believe, as those two connect.
Very well placed throw here from Val. You know, that's open side, but she had to put a little bit of shape on it so that the defender didn't have a play on it. Boston Brute Squad, again, doing a really good job being pretty close enough to touch all of these receivers. It's a lot of pressure. And to prevent a bid opportunity that, you know, she could have thrown that flat right at her receiver, but instead she put it out to space with a little bit of outer edge on it to make it a safer conversion there.
Like how they took their time and they kind of looked both sides of the field. They didn't stay on the fore side or the break side. They really moved the disc around pretty well, did Columbia Medellin.
Definitely an energy difference coming into this second half for Brute Squad. At the beginning of the game, right, Brute started with a very clean hold and then an immediate break. They were rushing the field after every point. They had their hands in the air. They were having a great time. A little bit more sedate right now, a little bit more serious, while, you know, on the other hand, Revolution ended that half with a little run and a break and spent the halftime bouncing a beach ball around, staying loose, having a good time. So just an interesting thing to keep track of, really, is the energy vibe coming from both of these teams right now. Another just beautiful Just beautiful pull.
You know, and something talking to Coach Maurizio about was that that's intentional. You know, this warm-up, you see the beach ball, the dancing. It's not just staying loose. It's staying happy. It's staying in your zop a little bit. Werfeli will put this deep. Good shot to Erin Ray. Can Erin Ray track it down? She bids, cannot quite get there. And this will be a break opportunity for Columbia. So that is Santos with the disc. And she will get it up to Rico. Eliana Rico having a good day. Mosquera, she'll put this, and she will. She curves it, though, and the defender is there. Caitlin Lee will get the block.
Good help D there by Lee. Able to peel off her player, recognize that the disc was up, and also that it was going to come in on that kind of harsh blade. So another chance here for Brute.
Yeah, not sure Mosquera wanted to put it on that blade. A flat pass would have had a better chance of success.
Brute Squad really relying on a lot of these kind of higher release, backhand, tight IO lanes, but this is a break flick huck. A little different of a look, different of a choice there, but works nonetheless.
Nicole Canning with the goal. That is a nice shot. In flow and in rhythm and down the fore side.
And there we see the energy pick up by Brute.
That's all it takes, right? Get a goal on the board. Here's the bid from Ray.
That was a hard, that disc took a turn. Maybe if it had been out a little bit flatter in front of her, she would have had a pretty good opportunity at getting it. Definitely closing speed, worth noting there from her, but a harsh turn right into the turf.
Lana Schwam there, that was the goal.
That makes sense. That's a name we know.
Yeah, Schwam, of course. You know, the team really is able to rally around Schwam, a cancer survivor, and doing great, doing well, and great to see her back out there after she missed a year to battle that. At UMass Amherst.
Speaking of, we've got Douglas now over on that D-line pretty much full time. I think she started the game on O, but maybe this switch is more her wheelhouse. She is another one of these fantastic pullers.
Yeah, and yet, you know, no one can get the range that Mosquera can. So
challenge accepted.
Yeah, right.
And there are 50 YCC women on the sideline that are like, okay, Tony.
Yeah.
You just watch for me. I'll be out there in a year or two.
Please. Yeah, that'd be awesome. Val Cardenas looking for her sister, but now we'll try to reset it. Nice break to Cartagena. Cartagena will dump this, but oh, shorted it to Crawford. Just didn't get the range on that. Those two are smiling, but it's a turn. And Angela Zhu will come up and pick it up for Boston Brute Squad with the chance to break. She's got a chance deep right away. She sends it. It's going to hang up in the air a little bit. Chance of the D and swat it out of the air.
Intended target Verhalen, who made their best effort to get body position and go up for that.
The D by Uribe. Cardenas looking for Cartagena.
Brute Squad has really stepped up the effort in their marks, I think, in the last few points. Revolution having to do low release backhand blades to get those around looks off right now.
Cardenas. She'll send it deep to number 44. This should be a goal. It's caught and it's scored. That's a hold, and Galindo will get the goal as they show their versatility here as everyone on the field for Revolution touched that disc.
I think that was a high stall situation. I think so, but it also just looked like a wide open receiver in the end zone. So it's hard to tell right now.
It's a little tricky after that second turnover here as we see the D swatted out of the sky by Uribe. But I don't think there was too much of a time there on Manuela Cardenas.
Okay. You're right. I was just over focusing on the mark pressure that we had seen all point and projected a little bit.
I do like that, you know, if one of their top players, if Cartagena is shut down, if Val is shut down, if Manuela is shut down, they're still able to find some openings and get a score.
I also think that every time you just said shut down, I would put in quotes.
Yeah, right, because, you know, we just saw Manuela get an open look and bomb it deep.
Right.
It's tough to, yeah.
with a great player, I think all you can kind of do is try to take their favorite thing away, right? And just pick one thing that you're really going to focus on stopping so that they can't go into that like automatic lizard brain, I'm playing out of my mind place. You want to make them choose their second favorite thing. And sometimes that has to be enough of a victory to feed your kind of defensive ego and keep you grinding out there. But yeah, I don't know if there's a possible way that shutting down one of these players is on the table. And that's true for a lot of the players on this field right now.
Whoa.
Almost.
Yeah. Santos almost got to that as the Synchrope and Tajima connection almost disrupted.
Power.
Yeah, to Claire Trope. Good receiver to throw to, and good thrower out there, and Claudia Tajima, and they connect to make it look easy. As the downwind side there is a score for Brute Squad on a hold. Exciting at the beginning here as Santos kind of mucked it up a little bit, but regaining composure is Claudia Tajima, and in power position, she throws the goal.
Well, if I were a scouting coach out here on the sideline watching Brute Squad, I would probably have everybody note that a lot of Brute Squad's offense is running through these high release backhands. That high release backhand just got Tajima in power. A lot of the way they've been advancing the disc and eating up yards in their vert stack has been that tight IO lane high release backhand. So I would maybe tell all of my defenders to start marking with slightly higher hands on the mark and see if they have to make an adjustment. Again, it might, I mean, these are good players. They're going to adapt, but on defense sometimes to fuel your fire, because your job as a D-line player is to get scored on a lot of the time and then make a play when, right? Like hopefully make a play.
Yeah.
But if you can take an offensive line's bread and butter away and make them attack you a different way, then they have to think about it a little bit more. And you might get a little bit more opportunity to cause an actual D that you get a hand on.
We saw Mosquera get that D on a high release, so she was able to find the position on it. I do wonder, though, you bring up some good points, like, is it something that if, will Boston have to switch it up if they're stopped on that and then go to the around? We were, speculating on that in the previous game. The buzz bullets, well, like they're taking away the inside throws. So, and Sub-Zero likes the around throws. Well, which is better? There's no right answer. And Brute's choice, as we see here, is the high release.
And to be honest, if it was much windier, those would start to come off a lot different, right? Some of them might be wobbly. Some of them might come in a little bit hotter than you thought, especially on the downwind. So, I don't know. I'm not trying to skew the talent pool or give anybody any clues down the road. It's Brute Squad, right? But I don't know. I like thinking about how I would coach against these patterns right now, and I think that's the one most prevalent thing that I'm seeing right now.
What do you think that Brute Squad should do on defense?
Well, I mean, to your point, Revolution is not really running a very structured offense, and they are most at home when they just get open the space and read each other, which I think we can watch in this point. I'm not completely sold that they have a set stack or a set offensive structure, and so Brute is doing exactly what I would do.
Okay.
Which is
imposing
a zone to see if they can organize themselves in a little bit more structured of a way, and to get them out of their normal kind of flow. Yeah, take some of the lanes away, take some of the obvious things away, maybe put some switches in lanes and try to just make them, because they seem to be improvising and kind of depending on chemistry, and so trying to find a way to make them doubt their instinctual next throw and make them kind of double check or holster those continue looks and throws, just to get them out of their comfort zone and make them, again, just get in that brain one. It's a mental toughness book. I'm a nerd.
Well, so far the zone defense is corralling Columbia Revolution, but Revolution also having some success here as they are moving it quickly. Look at this give and go. Speed between Manuela Cardenas. And now back down to Galinda to Cardenas.
Yeah, I think I would have liked to see a look like this maybe a little bit sooner in the game, just as a tester. I like to fail fast in the first half and try to figure out what my opponent can do. Also, sometimes the power of running a zone, as they fire out of it here, the power of the zone is not necessarily to get a D in a zone, but to then, after one defensive set of zone, to come back into person defense and see if they can adapt poorly to that change back.
Well, at the end here, they do crumble into person defense, and then we get to see a little bit of a show here. It looks like the Globetrotters out there. That's Manuela Cardenas, I'm sorry, again, fakes that big scuba, drops it down for her sister. Her sister then swings it over, and then Uribe will collect this goal. Watch as Cartagena, these three can make plays all day, and then there's Uribe on the under. That seemed like an easy find in the end zone, but what made that work actually was the far receiver that we didn't see in that shot there off screen, cutting to the far cone. And so it looked for a second like Manuela was going to put it out to that side, and instead she had the second cut following it. You know, one thing that Revolution told me is that their cutting principles and their offensive principles are based on not releasing the disc within a fast stall count, like a quick movement, but instead actually setting up your cuts to cut for the cutter.
That's great.
Yeah, it's kind of cool, right? It makes sense, but it's hard. When you've played together as long as they have, it kind of helps. But also the mentality and philosophy of that is brilliant, because it's like, okay, well, you know, I'm not cutting on the one to when you know, on this play here. I'm not isolated in space and cutting from my thrower, right? I'm making my cuts based on the cutter that's about to receive the disc. And that's why you see two people that flooded to that spot, and Manuela was able to hit either one of them and make the right choice.
That philosophy adapts really well to zone offense as well, so perhaps that's why they made quick work of that zone. Still think it's valid and valuable to try different things and try to get your opponent off kilter.
Yeah.
Oh, we've got a stoppage here in the middle. I'm seeing a fair number of the Revolution players cramping up, I think.
Maybe that's why Manuela Cardenas wanted water on that at the halftime.
It was clear that they needed to hydrate, and I think they were maybe having a good time and excited about that break to take half. And fueling your body is important in tournaments like this, especially when it's hot. I know that the temperatures come down a few degrees, but it does feel just like it's permeating all of the spaces, and this humid air just is everywhere, and the breeze comes and goes. And when the breeze is here, it's awesome.
Bring the breeze. Schwam with the disc here, as this will come back. And it's a cluster right now in the middle, so no offensive set structure here from Brute Squad either, at the moment at least.
Right. They've isolated a player in space.
Yeah, Jesse Tomas.
To the far left of the screen. So that's well spaced. I like that.
Right. She is a prolific goal scorer, Tomas. Instead, they'll get back to Werfeli. Looking for Sinecrope. Sinecrope has it. And she'll shoot it down the sideline for the goal to number 26, Alana Schwam.
That was well placed as well. I just like it when people are good at throwing and like take them.
Brings joy to your heart.
It does. I love it. I also really like it when people, I think there's a tendency in our sport for people to get complacent with their pivots and fakes and release points. So it's really fun for me to also watch these just really talented women kind of put extra effort into getting low, getting those release points, and stepping out all the way. That was, you know, I often tell people that it's not the first break that is necessarily trouble for your defensive line. It's the second one that usually is the deal breaker. And that was the second break, I think.
You know, as I called Amber Sinecrope on that point several times, I was like, yeah, I think Sinecrope's been around on this team for a bit.
Oh, yeah, she's good.
She's good, and she's been with the team for 14 years.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
So she might be one of the founders. You know, the Boston women's scene, the way it had worked for some time was Lady Godiva.
Oh, yes.
And then when Godiva was sort of you know, they're drawing all the best talent, keeping all the talent, and, you know, really keeping up with it. And then this team started out of, you know, Amherst, which is, you know, 2 hours from Boston, Brute Squad, out of some success from some of those players on the western Massachusetts area. And they ended up getting the talent. Godiva ends up folding, and this becomes the dominant team out of Boston. So they started as the second-tier team that rose then to the top of the ranks. And Amber Sinecrope has been a part of that progress the entire time. Now we see Columbia Revolution go back to work here as they try to hold on in the second half. Up to Cardenas.
Ooh.
Cardenas. How many times do I have to say that?
I mean, we're saying it all the time, Tony.
Cardenas. True, there's so many Cardenas jerseys out there.
There
Crawford.
are. Well, you know, Groom almost got a D on there, kind of committed to what she thought was going to be a poach D, and then ended up a little bit out of position. But sometimes, I mean, obviously she's a very good player. Sometimes I forget about her closing speed because she's just open in the space. So it's fun to see her playing defense because she's just chomping at the bit to get this disc back for her team right now.
Yeah, you're right about that. She is on her person. Right now that person has the disc, Valerie Cardenas. I think we have a cramp over here as Shanique Crawford will come off the field. The Atlanta pickup for this team. You know, they played against her in the PUL finals, played for the Atlanta Soul. And Mascara will come and take a sub as well onto the field. So that's a plus for this Revolution team.
Oh yeah, the strategy sub.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, you know, when someone takes an injury, both teams are allowed to put someone in, and it's very rare for teams to not take that opportunity at putting fresh legs, especially on a long point, right?
Well, she did replace Crawford, so that does make sense, but that's a pretty good replacement to have on the bench, so to speak.
Oh, yeah, there you go. I thought, did Brute Squad sub anybody in? Because
yeah,
that would have been the strategy sub. I'm sorry, I misspoke.
Kramer was guarding her for a bit there.
Okay.
Wow, nice pickup from Cartagena. Oh, nice fake movement from Valerie. Oh, what a layout. What a catch. Cardenas goes to the turf. Klesset looks for her sister. Instead, zips it into an open person. That is Ferreira, and that is a goal.
Just shaking my head. That was a no pivot backhand break, pretty sure. We will be calling that layout to subsequent throw the play of the game, which is just a challenge, really, for more ridiculous things to happen.
I kind of like the double layout from Cassie Wong and Rico. But we'll take a look at this again. Valerie Cardenas diving with the left after the throw from Cartagena. A little off, but Cardenas makes it count. There's the big fake, the big around. Look how far out that is. Got to go for it. She goes all the way down to the ground and just keeps her eyes and her focus on that trailing edge catch. That's always a fun one. Boom. That is your play of the game here from USA Ultimate at the US Open 2019.
Cartagena also just able to move her mark the entire way around her. That around backhand fake caught her mark. That mark was convinced that she was going to throw it, so she slid all the way over. And in a moment like that, Cartagena could have had any throw that she wanted, really. Textbook how-to move the mark.
Yeah, you're talking about in the throw from Valerie?
Nah, Cartagena's
from
throw
Cartagena's,
to
yeah.
Valerie. Valerie broke that mark, I think, without pivoting, which is really, my hips are too tight to do that. So I mean, she's young.
Well, they dance. They dance
They
as
dance
well.
a lot.
This is Colombia.
There's some flexibility. She just
Colombia.
there was a low release point. That's a pretty advanced break throw. And I mean, she's really advanced, so I'm not surprised to see it. But it just makes me shake my head sometimes. I love it. I love watching these powerful athletes play ultimate, and they're doing all the things, and I really appreciate that.
You know, Brute Squad did win this tournament last year, so we're seeing the two defending champions now in this game here. 2017 winners, of course, there's Mascara. They came in here, kind of shook it up. I'm not sure that our sport in America that we've seen has seen an international team come in and win like they did in 2017. Really can't speak enough about that. Brute Squad wins this tournament last year. as they had a quest for the Triple Crown. Claire Trope picks that up on the sideline as they will now attempt to work it down on a hold.
Oh, power again for Tajima.
Yeah, she kind of wanted that, but the cutter not quite there. Synchrope will put this instead. She's got an open woman.
That's
going to
legit.
work out. That Schwam, the connection between these two is powerful as they're two veterans of this squad, also from the UMass Amherst side of things.
Don't want to toot my horn at all, but that was a high release backhand that got this play.
Yeah, right there.
Right there,
Yep.
into power for Synchrope. And she's able, so that's kind of maybe it's a set play. It's possible it's a set play or a set kind of desired motion, but we've seen that now maybe 2 or 3 times where that kind of high release, inner lane break throw gets a player into power in motion on the flick side, and they're able to hit a receiver well-timed down into space, and they're all alone back there.
As long as Mascara isn't patrolling that space.
Because it's a break huck. It's a break side huck.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's hard. That's a hard thing to guard when you're downfield. But, yeah, sorry. Trend analysis, I've noticed a pattern.
Well, in the future, there'll be some analysts on the sidelines for each team that will be able to communicate that trend analysis to the teams. We see that a lot in the NBA where they'll change it up. And other sports as well, of course. So, you know, just some things to highlight. We had the Gum Ball is here today. That is the Girls Ultimate Movement Gum. And they have sorry, that's tomorrow during the Players' Dinner, the 2019 Gum Ball. Kind of like that.
Yeah.
So
there is an event tonight, though. There is an equity forum tonight, right? At 5:15, maybe? Is that something that you're seeing on your list?
Not seeing that. We'll keep looking.
I feel like that's happening tonight.
Revolution up here now with another hold opportunity. So a lot of stuff happening here at the U.S. Open, of course. This is the adult club division, international. They call it the ICC International Club Championships, I believe. And then there's the Youth Club Championships, which will start tomorrow. We'll be covering some of those games for you as well. Whoa, Manuela has to go up high, but she does.
Yeah, she does that.
She does that?
That's
she
a
definitely
thing.
does that. Galinda. Now, Valerie Cardenas in motion, in flow. No defender is there. I'm not sure why, because Ferrero is scoring a lot of goals for this team, and she gets another one right there in motion from Valerie Cardenas.
So yes, there is a diversity and equity forum. It's from 5:15 to 6:30 p.m. tonight. It's in the Player Spectator Lounge tent at the north end of Field 21. So, you know, our community is spending a lot of time investing in diversity and equity to be more inclusive of folks and make our sport more attractive to more people as a safe space and a place where they can be themselves and compete at the highest level without any kind of obstacles to their joy. So really excited that is happening again this year. It is an annual event. So I would encourage everyone who's in town in Blaine, Minnesota, and kind of available to go to that to find a way to the tent at the north end of Field 21 to hear that and participate in that discussion. It's a good investment in the future of our sport to make sure that as many people who want to play Ultimate can play Ultimate and feel like it is a place where they belong.
Yeah, and it's something that's been in the DNA of our sport since the beginning. It's always been, Ultimate has always been an inclusive community. We've always tried to welcome anyone who wants to play. You know, talking to some of those really early players at Columbia High School in Maplewood, New Jersey, they would say, yeah, it didn't matter if you're a boy or a girl. It just did not. It was come and play, you know, hey, come join the fun, you know?
I mean, I'll challenge you a little bit on that, Tony. I think becoming inclusive is something that we see ourselves improving at. Oh!
High pointing that one is Jessie Tomas.
That was a great play. Again, in motion on that flick side huck, well played. To come back a little bit to the inclusion, right? I think in the moment, Ultimate has always felt like an inclusive sport by the people who are already playing Ultimate. And I think it's a good exercise and one that we've done more and more over the last maybe 5-ish years to ask who isn't here right now to say whether or not our sport is inclusive. And I think that Color of Ultimate game that just happened,
That was amazing.
Was a really good opportunity to make sure that we were making efforts, right, to do better. But I think that's always a good kind of self-check for us to look around and kind of check our six and see who isn't here to have this conversation with me. It's one thing to look around and see people who look like you and say, we welcome anybody, but I don't think we get to decide, ultimately, pun intended, if we are inclusive. It needs to be something that folks who have kind of categorically not been included, it's up to them to decide if we're doing a good job or not, and hopefully we're doing a better and better job, but just...
Well, the sport needs to reach out to more communities, needs to reach out to more people, needs to open its arms and change its ways maybe a little bit. I agree with that for sure. You know, the sport has been sort of laissez-faire, right? It's been like, okay, well, we are open, come play. Anybody can play. We're come do it. But, we can do more than just being laissez-faire about it.
As we come back into this, wow, nice hit there on that tight IO space. Still a 1-point game here in this crossover game for seeding. Oof. Just a bit too far for one receiver and a bit too short for another.
Yeah, Cami Groom, really, number 7 there, really shut that down on the backfield, really. That's what forced that throw out of rhythm. So the timing was off there because Groom shut down the reset. And now a chance for Brute to tie this one up.
Douglas picking up.
Yeah, this is, again, a crossover game. The winner here will move on to go into one side of the bracket, and the loser will go to the other side of the bracket. That's pretty much what you get. You're either going to get Seattle or Fury right now. Still don't have a score update. If anyone can update us between Fury and Riot, that'd be great. And this throw is going to sail a little too long.
I thought she could have maybe put burners on. You know, Caitlin Lee really running the offense in the back set right now. I think Douglas may have drawn a little bit more of a challenging matchup, so she's maybe not free to kind of run the table as she usually does. But Lee happy to step in, happy to get the disc every other. And I think that shot to Cami was maybe the right space, but maybe the wrong throw.
Oh, this is a big bomb downfield for Cartagena. She's got the space in the wheel. Zoo is closing on it, but Cartagena rises up and gets it.
Lee putting on some afterburners there, closing speed to try to help out her teammate as well, was pretty exciting for a second.
Manuela Cardenas with the disc. Been some exciting plays right here. Valerie Cardenas taking her time now. Patience wants Cartagena. Won't find her. Looking for Ferrero. Now they're kind of slugging it out a little bit.
They want that IO lane. Manu keeps pointing at it.
Oh, a bit there, but it's going to be short as Galinda picks it up. Then back to Valerie. Valeria.
Valeria. We got it. We got it. We're doing it.
Mascara, IO. That's a goal.
There's a call. She's very open wide.
There's
there's
two
a
open people. Okay. All right. Let's send it back.
I do like Brute Squad doing a little bit of a flat mark here again near the end zone. I think they have maybe picked up on these IO looks that Revolution really enjoys here. So they're trying to make them go wider with these looks and hoping that they make a mistake.
Ooh, what a juke from Cartagena. Oh, she gets it. She gave the old toast move there. Her body goes one way, and she says, see you later. It goes the other way, and Cardenas gets it. I want to see this one again. This is a pretty cool setup on the cut. We'll see the overthrow there.
Or an underthrow.
Yeah.
There's one of each in that space right there. So this look I like, right?
Really?
But
same third on the forehand side?
Right. So I think as I mentioned, the space is correct, right? Cami is going deep. You want Cami going deep. I just don't think the throw is there. I think I would have put up maybe a bigger forehand to more of the middle of the field and let it come back and let Cami run onto it instead of trying for the tight lane.
Yeah. I agree, yeah.
Right. I guess in hindsight, I don't exactly know what the mark looked like, but she got a flick off. So could have been whatever flick she chose, maybe.
We didn't see Cardenas there set that cut up, but that was the most impressive part of that point there. I think, as she juked her defender.
Yeah, tell me more. There's what you called it, a toast move?
Yeah, that's it's
What
funny.
is that, Tony?
Okay, so it actually comes from UMass Amherst, as far as I know. But when you see, I'll have to diagram it for you. Here, we have a board here.
Just for me. No one at home gets to know what a toast move is.
No one else gets to see this. But you have the player here go this direction, and then the defender is completely going the other direction. So it's like toast.
You just drew an angry face on my whiteboard.
I'm sure the defender felt pretty angry after it was juked out of your shoes, as it were.
Yeah, absolutely.
Toast.
Toast. Okay, I get the reference now. You're toast.
You're toast.
You got burned.
You got burned.
There we go. Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Clever. Oh, ultimate slang has changed over the years.
Well, maybe they'll bring it back. I mean, I had a shirt for years I used to wear all the time that just said toast on the back of it with that diagram, that image of one player going one way that's about to catch the disc and the defender going the other way. And it was a Zoo Disc shirt from UMass Amherst. Nice. You're like, yeah. Enough of the.
Your memory is very
enough
long,
of this
Tony.
Weird, crazy stuff.
So this will be game point for Revolution, and Brute Squad appears to be putting out kind of their usual O-line. So we got some Malinowski and some Tajima.
I don't know. I haven't seen Wong out there. No.
You're right. Oh, and the horn is going off too right now, but shouldn't impact anything in this game.
Sinnercroft, Thomas. I'm saying Thomas, but I'm pretty sure it's Thomas, the Montreal native, number 27, Jesse Grignon Thomas.
Okay. Sounds like it should be maybe French.
Français. So this will be Tajima picking it up, moving it up a side stack here as they isolate Malinowski in the center, guarded by Mascara.
Ooh, the Malinowski-Mascara matchup.
Yep, I knew you'd like that.
There's that high release inside backhand.
Oh, yeah, to Thomas.
Oh, here we go. Oh, Schwamm got going.
Yeah.
But the look was not there. Oh, Tajima in power. We like Tajima in power.
And she likes it too.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah, doesn't quite have the spacing there. Nice defense. She'll have to hammer it over to Malinowski. Becky will look for the high release maybe. Drops it down instead to Yu Zhao.
Oh, that's
a
lefty high release backhand.
Yeah, picked up by Sinnercrope. Close one though. Santos was there again.
A lot of chatter from the sideline right now. I can't tell what they're saying. Oh, that was a nice fake of a high release lefty.
She called contact there to Tajima, so got a reset on the stall count. That's why you're seeing her hold the disc for a little bit longer.
Okay, Sinnercrope working with Tajima still in this. Oh, nice break.
Yeah, bodied up even on that. Yu Zhao with the big lefty to Malinowski for the score. Mascara can't quite get there. It's a hold for Brute Squad as they stick around in this game. As a point coming up for Columbia to win it. We'll see who they put out there.
Yeah, another game point opportunity for Revolution, obviously, and a good opportunity for Brute Squad to maybe stack a line here. I mean, maybe all their lines are stacked.
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
Oh, hey, we're Brute Squad. We have 21 stack, 21 players who can go on the stack line. 27, I don't know how many.
That's kind of a foul there on Santos. You see a little bit too much body. That was called contact earlier on the other defender. But, you know, smart play to throw through that from Sinnercrope and then let the play continue. You know, you call a violation or a foul there and you're kind of stopping your flow a little bit. So stick with the flow. And it results in, you know, switching the field side that you're on and a goal.
Sinnercrope always does a good job. I feel like I've commented on it a bunch at US Open. She does just a really good job of kind of sealing off that mark on those low release backhand breaks and putting that mark effectively on her back so that she can have the throw that she wants. And it's, you know, it's not her initiating contact, it's her using footwork to kind of commit and declare that this space is mine and I'm going to throw through it and you are probably going to foul me.
So the winner of this game will go on to the quarterfinal tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. The loser, both teams will play tomorrow in the quarterfinals at 8 and indeed up.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, now we got a nice, Nicole Canning gets it. A chance to tie it up for Brute Squad. Zoo will pick it up. Looking for Werfely. Can't get her. No, sorry, that's Groom. Yeah. Now Werfely puts it up. It's going to be a bailout, but it's caught. Tulsa Douglas comes down with it. Is there a call?
There's a call.
They're looking around.
Yeah, possibly a contested stall here. It was getting up there.
And it was a bailout throw, too. Zoo kind of sent it. Dingler in position, saying it's contested. Little sign language here. It's going to go. Is it going to go to Dingler? Is it going to go to Dingler? They're asking. The observer is saying, is it coming to me or not? They're still talking. So we can't see who that is for Revolution. No foul. Goal.
Goal call.
No stall. And they hung it out. That is Angela Zhu throws the goal. Uribe gives her the hug. And this game is at 14s now, all tied up. Game to 15.
Well, let's make sure.
That, yeah.
If it is, because the horn wins. We're gonna have to clarify and see what the game is to now. It could be that the game is to 16. That's definitely a possibility depending on exactly when that horn went off. So bear with us as we figure out what exactly is going on right here. Maybe we can get Mitch's attention and see if he'll signal to us. It looks like there is a conversation happening with the Brute Squad coach and Mitch Dengler, and maybe that's the clarification conversation.
Yeah, they are talking about it right there. So we'll see if we can get some information on that.
Does he have an Apple Watch? Can I text him?
I think he does, right? That's funny. Hang on, I'm going to do the old school again to throw back. I'm going to yell down to the field to one of the players and say, hey.
Okay, mute your mic before you yell.
All right.
Hey, Brute, hey, Zoo, Angela, is this the game? Anybody know?
Nobody knows. It looks like nobody knows. We're going to use context clues to figure out what happens.
Maddie Fry says game to 16.
Game to 16.
Yeah, Maddie Fry wearing one of their Cardenas shirts.
Right.
All right, Mascara with the disc. Now we're seeing universe lines both ways. Cardenas. It's getting exciting here. Not that it wasn't already a pretty exciting game. Cartagena sends it up to Rico. Rico to Manuela. Looking. Drops it back to Ferrero. Swings it to Rico. Eliano Rico sends it up to, Santos. And there's a call.
Perhaps a pick. Looks like a pick to me.
Crowd really starting to form here. This is one of the latter round games playing here. The winner has a different brace. So this is a crossover, right? So both these teams won their pool. So this is 1B, that's Revolution versus 1D, and it's up from sister to sister. The twins connect. The Cardenas deliver. Valerie to Manuela for the goal, and they go up 15-14 in the game, 2-16.
Looks like not a whole lot of Brute Squad players know that the game is to 16.
I just called down and asked Angela Zhu, and she's like, I don't know.
Right.
So, yeah.
It's not, when you're a player and you're in the zone, you don't necessarily need to know what the score
Correct,
is.
Yeah.
So some people need to know, and they play better, or they are more likely to get a D. Some people need to kind of play the same no matter what the score is, and kind of stay out of that administrative task almost. So looks like we'll get another look at the O-line for Brute Squad here.
Let's see who they put out there. Cinecrope's been out there all day. Claire Trope, haven't called her name in a while. She is a star, and she's going to be out there. Yu Zhao, Becky Malinowski. Cami Groom's been playing great, always been a star. And Claudia Tajima, of course, and Jessie Thomas. That's your line that has to hold for Brute, or this game will be over. Mascara, the bomber from Colombia, Medellin, will pull the disc.
But neither of the Cardenas sisters are on the Revolution line, so maybe a little tactics here so that both of those sisters can be on a potential universe point line.
Yeah, and Cartagena for that matter.
Yeah.
Cinecrope now looking. This is a must hold. Count getting up a little bit. She's going to have to find Tajima, and she does. Nice cut and release point from Tajima. But a landing point as she shakes her wrist a little bit.
Looks like she's going to take an injury timeout, or not, I'm sorry, not a timeout, but she's going to take an injury, and Zhu will come in.
Yeah, Angela Zhu will come on the field. Unfortunate. I hope she's all right for Tajima on the landing point there, on the layout. Looks like she might have tweaked her wrist. And the defensive sub will come in. I believe that's Uribe again guarding Zhu. Yep, that's Uribe. Yep, we just saw those two earlier.
All right, so that's the strategy sub.
Yep, yeah. Zhu to Trope. Trope will get this one.
Every Revolution player right now just on the hip of their opponent. Really, oh wow, here we go.
And Cinegrove finds Cami Groom in the end zone. This game will go to Universe to double game point.
Instant classic! We did it. We had nothing to do with it. These two games, or these two teams playing really high level Ultimate right now. Just every throw contested, every mark high effort, every fake important, every release point important. I love it. I love it.
The defense there from Montagna, not enough on Cami Groom. Now we'll see the Universe line for both teams. Mosquera treads out there. Uribe will stay on the line. Cartagena, Manuela Cardenas, her sister, Valerie Cardenas. We'll see Coach Mauricio Moore walking out with his team, see what they talk about. No set structure, just principles. What do you say?
I mean, if you're gonna win a Universe point game on O-line, you better win it as yourselves, right?
Yeah.
If you try to do anything that you're not used to, anything fancy right now, it's just a new variable, a new wrinkle that's going to interrupt your flow. So, you win doing you, right? Or you don't right now. And I would not expect them to do a set play really, or try to over-engineer this at all. They just have to catch and throw and be who they are right now. But if you're Boston, you got to find a way right here.
Caitlin Lee with the pull as they will come down. This disc is centered up to Cardenas. Cardenas to her sister, Manuela to Yina Cartagena. Cartagena looking for Mosquera downfield, trying to isolate, and she successfully isolates against Cassie Wong. Mosquera wants to find Manuela Cardenas, who cannot get open on Cami Groom, so has to drop it back to Yina Cartagena. Jumping around is Manuela Cardenas.
The only difference is Manu has taken her hat off, so she means business.
Santos number 24, Uribe out there. Uribe with the disc to Mosquera. It's a little stagnant. They want Mosquera to throw, probably does Brute Squad. And she throws upfield. Oh, it's a trip. She cannot get her footing. Valerie Cardenas goes down. Just a slipping on the turf, no foul. Angel Zhu will pick it up. A chance for Brute Squad to break and win. She zips it up. And there's the fake from, Lauren Sadler. Sadler, too far, but Amber Cinegrope is there. She's been there all game. Claire Trope now with the disc. Cassie Wong going deep. Mosquera eyeing that deep shot. Zhu, Wong. Wong looking for Cami Groom. Finds her. Groom looking for Claire Trope. We'll put it to her. Will this stay in? If it is, it's the game. It is!
Oh my goodness!
Cami Groom to Claire Trope. And there it is, one break in a row for Brute Squad, and they win this crossover. Exciting game against Medellin Revolution, coming from behind, and wow, what a game.
That's incredible. Oh, I am so pleased with that game, Tony. That was so great. I love good Ultimate. I love when both teams work hard. I love it when there's lead changes. I love it when matchups change. I think this is an instant classic, and I think there are, again, 50 to 100 YCC players on the sideline right now who just got to see it all in person, and that experience is going to, be a positive memory for them. And when we interview all of these players when they're Worlds players in like 7 years, they're going to be like, I remember that US Open 2019 matchup between Revolution and Brute Squad, and it inspired me to insert amazing Ultimate characteristic, right? I'm jazzed.
Layout,
I'm jazzed right now.
Bid, break mark, everything. We saw it all. two great teams going toe-to-toe. The two previous winners of this U.S. Open, 2017 there in pink, the Revolution. 2018, the defending champions Brute Squad pulls this one out, and they may meet again in the finals. Some exciting ultimate to come, as we'll see who they match up against tomorrow in the quarters. So we see a little highlight reel package here for Aaron Maraca. I'm Tony Leonardo. Thanks for watching this one. We're going to come back, so stay with us for a little bit. We're going to come back and go through the day a little bit. Aaron talked about some of the matchups, some of what we saw out here, and some of what we can expect on the stream tomorrow and the general action here at the U.S. Open.
And then we're going to take a nap.
And then we're going to take a nap. Thanks for watching. We'll be back with you shortly.
Okay, we'll do it.
Hey everyone, I'm Tony Leonardo here with Aaron, and we were just discussing what we want to tell everyone about for watching. So we just saw a pretty amazing game there between Brute Squad and Colombia Revolution from Medellin. And one of the things we've covered 4 games now today, and Aaron, you were saying that 3 of them were international teams.
Yeah, again, one of the focuses of U.S. Open is to bring in that international talent. There are 4 international teams in each of the club divisions competing today, and that means that everyone at the tournament today, from like the U.S. Nationals campaign kind of level and the Triple Crown Tour, had an opportunity to play against an international team today. And as we discussed with many of their kind of captains and leadership, that's a really powerful opportunity to play against a team that you don't normally get to see in the rest of the TCT USA Ultimate events. There's always stylistic differences. There are always, different, interesting offensive and defensive strategic plays. It's a good mental exercise for teams that are maybe used to a lot of the American teams and have regular matchups with them at these events to kind of get outside their box, think a little bit more critically about what they're running and how they respond to new variables as they see on the field.
Yeah, we called 2 Japanese teams crazy, the mixed team out of Osaka and Tokyo, and of course the Buzz Bullets in the men's division. Saw a lot of inside throws there, action there, but again, they got gummed up. This tournament kind of shows that the sport's growing, not just in the sense of these international teams being here, but a lot of the strategies that originated internationally are being adopted by American teams as well. So, talked about how the origins of the horizontal offense come from Germany. Well, these inside throws, the quick movement, the speed of Colombia, the speed of the Japanese teams. We saw the American teams adapt to that and be able to stop that, because that is now part of how the game is played here in the States as well.
I really also appreciated just seeing kind of the culture of those teams, right? Clearly the Japanese work ethic is incredible, right? Buzz Bullets practice every single weekend.
Every weekend.
I think they get like 2 weekends off, and it's next weekend and the weekend after Nationals, maybe, we'll see. But, the crazy roster brought a pretty short-handed squad. I understand they're going to get some more players tomorrow, but utilizing all of their tactics to support that small rotation. And I know that some of the other international teams in attendance that we didn't cover today kind of had similar struggles with the size of their roster, but were able to kind of come here for the joy of playing and the joy of playing internationally, some of them for the first time. And that's an investment in themselves and an investment in their country's ultimate as well, because they're doing the same thing, right? They're learning new styles. They're learning the American styles. They get to play high level against players that they wouldn't see otherwise. So it's really pays dividends on both ends, I think.
And we see some of the youth players here. We could talk about that. You know, they're excited to be here, I'm sure, and get to watch Great Ultimate and then play Great Ultimate. In fact, this is Leela Tonnell's team going by. Hi, Leela. We'll see you guys later. See you soon.
What's up?
That's Valley Ultimate. So, you know, it's just such a community where we get to recognize and know everybody in the community and
Absolutely.
welcome everyone.
So we start tomorrow covering some of these youth club games. The YCC tournament kicks off with pool play tomorrow. So as all of these adult teams will go into bracket play to vie for a spot in the coveted final and try to get one of these crowns.
Yeah, get on
the youth
ESPN
club,
broadcast.
yeah, the youth club's nationals, the culmination of their season, their very short summer season, and everything they've been working towards. Some of them since January, some of them since June-ish. That begins and kicks off tomorrow. So that's a really fun way to overlap the event. And again, spectators on both sides will be having a great time being able to watch competition in the other division.
Yeah, see the players that are going to be, you know, you're going to see them every day in the club division and future, you know, World's teams and Team USA teams and you name it. The sport has got lots of opportunities. You know, I talked to Kate Bergeron Gull today. She's on the board for WIFDIF and asked a little bit about the Olympics. We didn't get a chance to talk too much about that today, but I'll be able to fill us in a little bit tomorrow on what the prospects are. Maybe you know, we're not really going to know until 2021. But I can say what some of the efforts are, trying to get Ultimate into some of these multi-sport events to really broaden our appeal, to show what we can do. And crowds watching and people watching on the streams, that actually helps this sport show that we can have a strong presence, because the Olympics wants eyeballs, I guess, like everybody wants eyeballs.
Of course.
So.
On behalf of Tony and myself, Erin Maraca, I want to reach out again to our spectators today on the live stream. We really value that you came and tuned in to our coverage today with Fulcrum Media. We really appreciate you making comments, correcting us where needed, and following along. We have a top 10 package for you here, and we hope that you have a great night. We'll see you back here tomorrow.